Welcome for this first video. Here we will have the default scene of Blender and we will have a look on how to use a really specific add-on and important add-on for hard surface modeling. So it will be the Bool tool add-on. But first of all, let's set up a little our scene into Blender just to have a basic shading setup that we can be happy with. So first of all, when we open Blender for the first time, we have our default scene with the cube, with the camera and the lamp. So we will just manage a few things here. Just a little thing to tell you before starting that we will have the shortcuts that I will do during the training. So here you can see that it will be the middle mouse, the left mouse or the right mouse as I use it. And for example, if I select everything with A or Alt A to deselect, you will have here the shortcut that will appear during the training. So it's here that you will refer during the process of creation. So what we will do first, we will just select our camera and our lamp there, and we will just remove them with delete button. Okay, and we have only our cube. We will start our first scene with the cube. First of all, we'll select this cube, and with numpad period we will just make the view focus on it. And what we will do after, we will just set up a little the shading that will be better for hard surface modeling. Okay, so let's go there for that. And we will set up with matcap first. So you have a different choice for matcaps here. You can choose this one that maybe is better for sculpting, this one for modeling or whatever. I prefer here to use the basic one. I kind of like it, and especially with cavity. So I will just enable cavity there, and you can see that the ridge here will give you more of the edges into the object. Here you can see the edges are white here, and I will take something around 0.6, 0.7 for the valleys. I will just keep it there, and we will take the type screen. Okay, you can enable the shadow if you want. Usually I prefer to work without, and that's it. For now we will just stay with that, and we have something a little less flat than before. It was flat gray, not really interesting to work with. So by default you have this kind of view here. We will enable our first add-on into Blender. As I told you, the add-on Bool tool, it's a must-have when you do hard surface modeling. And I will just show you a few examples on how to work with it. It will be something that we will use quite a lot during the process of creation. So first of all, to enable it, you go to Edit Preferences here, and you will go into your add-ons list. Okay, then you will search here for Bool. Okay, and you have Bool tool that is available here. And what it will make first, you can see when you enable an add-on here, it will give you, where is it? So View 3D, Sidebar, Edit tab. Okay, and you have a few things to see here. So let's enable this here, and into the Edit tab you have the Bool tool that is available there. Good. So Bool tool is an add-on that is made for Boolean operations. And what are Boolean operations? Basically, it's an object that will kind of make a hole into the other with its own shape. So kind of digging its own shape into the other, and you can make a few operations with that. Okay. So first of all, to use the Bool tool here, you have to set up your scene with two objects at least. So what I will do, I will just duplicate this object with Shift D and put it around there. Okay, like this, just the corner will be there. And by selecting the first object, only one object anyway. If you select only one object and that you try a difference or whatever, it will not work because at least 2 objects must be selected. So it's important to understand that. To tell to Blender the first object that I select will dig the other, will make a hole into the other. And now if I make a difference there, you can see that, okay, it works well, and I have the shape that I wanted. So it works very easily, this, and even with 2 objects that will dig, for example, the last object, it will work as well. So let's say if I want to duplicate again my object and maybe scale it down to put it around there, okay, to make another interesting shape, maybe something like that, a little more little, and duplicate it again, put it around there. Good. So we'll have interesting shapes in there. And let's say I select this object after, and this one at last, the one that is yellow there. If I make a difference there, you can see that it works pretty well. And the 2 objects did make a hole into the other. So let's say I will make a Ctrl-Z, remove that one with the X key or the delete key as you want, and you can see that there are not only 1 option here, but there are 4 options. Okay, there are difference, union, intersect, and slice. So the first thing that is important to understand, I will make a RZ 90 degree, maybe to have something like that, and scale it a little like here. Okay, yeah. And let's say with this shape you would like to have only 1 object without any intersection between, because you can see that here when I go into the wireframe mode with Z, okay, Z wireframe mode here, you can see that here between the 2 objects there is a kind of intersection, okay, there inside the geometry of the 2. And I would like this intersection to disappear, okay, and to make only 1 object. So I just use the union key, and there you can see that now the intersection did disappear, and I have something in edit mode that is totally usable like that. Okay, so this add-on is really powerful with this to make I make Ctrl-Z to have my 2 objects again. Good. So you can make a union, you can make an intersection, and here it will keep only the intersection, okay? And you can make a slice too, and a slice will kind of cut the second object with the first one and cut this shape, like for example here, okay? Or if I move my first object a little over there and make a slice again, so it will make this kind of shape interesting there. So it's a very powerful add-on, just 1 click and it works. Just to explain you by default, if you don't enable that, what you have to do is to select the object that you want to cut, go there, add a modifier, add a bool tool, add a boolean modifier. This boolean will be this one, and then you have to choose what kind of operation you want, a difference, and you don't see the result first, you have to hide the first one. So a lot of clicks to make just to have exactly the same result than here. Okay, so this one is, it makes the same thing, but it's just quicker, it applies everything very quick. So here, to remember, you have some shortcuts to do that even if you don't want to use the buttons. You just select your first object and your second object, and you do Ctrl- to make, Ctrl-Shift- to make the difference operation, Ctrl-Shift+ to make the union difference, the union here operation, Ctrl-Shift here asterisk to have here the intersect, and Ctrl-Shift/ to have here the slice operation. Okay, so just with the shortcut you have already a lot of possibilities here. So you can see that this add-on is a really time gainer. gainer. Yeah, it's really a good deal. And what you can do with it too is to do something non-destructive, because now if you make this and that and make Ctrl-Shift-, it's done. So if you do a few operations there, after you cannot come back to this operation again, except with Ctrl-Z, but if after it's too late, it's too late. So what you can do too is to make something non-destructive. And this is available with the brush boolean here, okay? So everything that is here is with Control, Shift, and the minus or the plus or the asterisk or the slash. And after here, it's Control minus, Control plus. So just here Control, and here it's Control Shift. And to do a difference, for example, what it will make the difference, but it will keep the modifier there, okay? And you can see that I can even move my object there, and yeah, so it's kind of non-destructive system. And you can have a few like that. So let's say that, for example, I would like to add another cut with another object, like let's say a cylinder, to change a little. And yeah, let's say I would like to make a hole in the center here. I make a SZ there, and just select my two objects and make a difference again, and I have a new hole that is ready here to use, okay? And let's say I will add even another, like for example a cube, and this cube I will just scale it down, scale it up with SZ and SY or SX to have something like that. And now I will just put it there, go in edit mode, and duplicate it into the x-axis with Shift DX, and just make this a few times with Shift R. I will have another here repetition with Shift R. Okay, so here now I have my object, and I just make this one, and I will make a difference again. And you can see that I have complex shapes here that is totally non-destructive. Like for example, if I want to move this one into the y-axis, I could, for example, do something like that, or scale it down or whatever. And it's really, really powerful just because of that, because you can change really directly with non-destructive system. And when you are happy with everything and that you want to apply this for can make a bevel somewhere or whatever, you can just go there and make apply everything, okay? And when you sorry, no, it's not this one, you have to click on the good one, and you make an apply all, and everything disappear. Now your object is ready, okay? So it can be a very good system to use when you have to work with Boolean operation, and after you can go to your mesh and make some bevels to make it a little more interesting in some places. Yeah, just to have something a little more interesting. And yeah, you can just play with the shapes as you want, and very powerful system. Just with a few clicks you will have very complex shapes and interesting shapes. So it's good even for concepting. Sometimes you just go with no idea, and suddenly, oh, you have a shape interesting, and it makes you think about something that, oh yeah, it could be that, and after you change it. Yeah, I really recommend you to experiment a lot with this, and make a few examples like that, just to have a look how it works, and to not be totally lost after, because we will play with these settings quite a lot. And so that's it. Just Control Shift to make an auto boolean, Control directly to make a brush boolean, and non-destructive system there. So that's it for this first add-on. We will discover a second add-on into the next video. This add-on is the Carver add-on. It's a kind of not really used add-on. I don't see a lot of tutorials on internet about it, but it's a very powerful add-on, and I will show you how it works in the next video.